Good evening. It is January 11th, 2017, and we are on day 13 of Standing on His Promises. And today happens to be my most favorite life verse, and it is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. I love this. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. I absolutely love that. I'm going to say it again. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. My goodness, I love that. I love it. I stand on that promise and I believe in that promise and I repeat it 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 because He does. He has wonderful plans for me and He proves it to me so many times. And I was just talking about this verse tonight with a friend of mine, Mary. We were doing a Bible study. A study, but a Bible study as well. And we were just talking about different life outlooks and struggles and stuff. And, man, I just looked at the timer. It was 1:11. That's funny. But I was talking about how people lately were randomly coming up to me. God, I need to stop flipping my hair around. They were, whoa, hello. A lot of people were randomly coming up to me and telling me, I know you know this. And I think I posted this in a different video not too long ago. But people were coming up to me telling me, I know that you know this, but all the work you're doing, it's very blessed and God sees it and everything you touch will prosper. And I am really being tested right now. And I'm not even going to lie. I am not totally feeling the prosperity vibe right now. I'm not. So I'm wondering, what am I missing? What am I not doing? What am I not sowing? What am I not delivering on that's holding me up from the abundant provisions that He has promised me? So I'm asking Him if He will, help me pray the right prayers. Okay, He just told me that I don't need to know what I'm praying. Oh, He just told me that. All right. So tonight, I need to pray in the Spirit. I'll do that tonight. I'll see what happens. Yeah, all right. I hear you. Because I don't know. I'm not praying the right prayers, obviously. I've been praying for Him to... whenever I've asked before for provisions and for, hey, God, hey, Dad, I need some money. Whenever I've asked for that, He's never, ever, ever just handed me, hey, here's some money. He's always given me ideas or creativity on how to create something that will bring in money. So it's always like, hey, you want some money? Go get a job. It's kind of not really that, but, He gives me things to work towards which is awesome because it's like training. And it's like, once you learn something like that, you can never unlearn it. So that's along the same concept that I really go off of with our moms, is we don't ever just give them a fish. We teach them how to fish so that we can never unlearn it. And it's a technique that they can always help, provide for themselves and not wait for somebody else to give them something. So I'm really, really thankful that in all of the times that I ever have asked Him, hey, God, we're running a little short on money right now. I need to figure something out. Never has He ever, I hear a lot of times people are like, oh, so-and-so just came up to me and blessed me with a check for blah, blah, blah. I have never. I take that back. Tonight I did. And it was really nice. It was a very sweet token of obedience and love. And I appreciate that. But, I've never had somebody come up and be like, hey, let me pay your house payment. Hey, Lord told me to help you pay for your car. Never happened. And that's totally okay, because He's always provided for me in other ways where I've always been able to cover the things that I need to cover. But I feel like I'm missing something. I'm missing something, and I don't know what it is that I'm missing. I don't know if I'm not serving enough. I don't know what it is. So I'm trusting that He will reveal that to me. Because, and another thing, I'm really trying to behave myself in my timing of things. Like don't have patience very much. And I know that the longer he draws something out, it's because the outcome is going to be way bigger than I can ever even imagine. So if I were to rush into something or rush to the completion of something on my timeline, oh, I would be missing out on so much. So I know it doesn't make it any easier, but I know that his timing, oh, it's way better, way different than mine, and but the outcome's always way better than what I could ever think of. So I will be patient. Not a fan of it, but I was saying tonight too how, you know, the study that we're doing, it's I forgot the title of it. It's a mouthful, but it's like the supernatural transformation of your mind or something like that. It's really awesome though. But it's basically just, wrapping our brains around the heart and the mind of God, and lining our thoughts up with how he thinks, and knowing his character enough to know how he thinks, so we can expect things like he expects them. And part of it was inviting the Holy Spirit into us, and knowing that the Holy Spirit lives in us. And I was like, I know that I very much have a renewed mind because of the way I handle things. If I would be in this certain time of my life right now, say 2 years ago or more, 2-3 years ago, I'd be freaking out. I would be having near panic attacks. Which I didn't have my first panic attack until I was going through my separation, which was like in 2009. That was the first time I ever had a panic attack. I had no idea what those things were. Oh my goodness, they are real. They are crazy bonkers, and I thank God that was the only time I ever felt one. I will never feel one again, because I have a renewed mind and I handle things totally differently now. I have just a very much more relaxed and confident outlook on things, because God has provided for me so many times. Like, I can look back, prime example, I was moving out of our beautiful home in the acreage, moving out of this gorgeous 2,900 square foot house, marble floors, big tall ceilings, gorgeous, gorgeous. But I was in a very toxic relationship, and it was getting worse. So I could care less about the gorgeous, beautiful home we had and all of these fancy, fancy things. I was more concerned with the well-being of myself and my son. So I had took about 1.5 years of time to plan my exit, or to get my exit plan in line. But there was just a final straw that happened, and it was like, a do or die moment. I had anticipated or contemplated or whatever leaving like 6 times before I actually did, but I was never able to, probably in courage, in faith, really, because this last time when I finally decided it was time to go, oh man, there was like nothing stopping me. But I was driving home. I decided on a Friday night that we were going to be leaving, and on Monday I was dropping Vincent off at school, and it's about a 20-minute drive from the house to school. So on my way back, I'm just leaning with my hand on the window, kind of looking out the window, and I'm like, oh, God, how am I going to do this? Like, I'm not prepared to do this. I don't have enough money saved up. I got rid of all of our furniture, of my own furniture. I had Vincent's bedroom furniture. I had my basic kitchen things, and I had our clothes, and that was it. I had nothing else. I had no bed, no couch, no nothing. So I'm like, God, how am I going to do this? I can't afford to go and refurnish a whole new place, plus get into a new place. How am I going to do this? Well, I had just started doing larger donation acceptance for Tiger Lily, and I did real estate when I lived in Florida, and a lot of my realtor friends got wind that that's what I was doing, and I was like gung-ho. I would drive the truck, and I would go pick up the furniture myself with either a girlfriend, or I had a guy that helped me doing community service. But I couldn't tell you how many armoires I moved down flights of steps and down to elevators, and it was a great workout, but I don't ever want to do it again. But anyway, I was driving home Monday morning, and I'm like, God, how on earth am I going to do this? I'm afraid, and it's time to go. And within 20 minutes, I had 2 phone calls from 2 different realtors that each one of them had a 2-bedroom condo over by the beach, that one was sold and one was bought. Both of them were fully furnished, and neither of the new owners wanted the furniture that was in it, and they just wanted it out ASAP. And they wanted to know if I would take it. So I had 4 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, 2 dining rooms, 2 entire homes of furniture. So I was like, yeah, I will totally take this. So figured out how to do it. I had storage unit. I took just what I needed. Nothing extra, nothing elaborate. Bare necessities what I took. And then the other stuff we used for the organization. But so how I know it was from God and that God provided for me without a doubt is because he is very clever and very outspoken when he needs to be. When we lived in our house in the acreage, I wanted to find a new bedspread for our bed. And we had a king size bed, and I wanted to find a buttercup yellow satiny kind of, but not tacky satiny, like a nice, like a silkworm kind of silk kind of look. Buttercup yellow with a espresso bean brown big stripe across the center of it in like a velvet or something like that. And I was looking online. So when I got my furniture, the second condo that we went into, I went into the master bedroom, and the master bedroom had a king size bed, and on that bed was this. I'm sorry, but that's buttercup yellow with an espresso bean stripe, velvet and silky. This is my bedspread. This is from God. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I had a specific something in my head, and there he goes. Another way I know that he provides. There was a condo community that was, I drive by it all the time, and this was when I lived in the house, the big fancy house. I would drive by this little condo community all the time, and I would always think, oh, this is such a cute little community. I want to convince my parents to be snowbirds and come down here and live in this cute little community because it's a 55 plus community. So it was priced really cheap. Really cute little units. I had been in there when I've shown units in there before. And it was right across the street from this incredible park that we used to go to that had like 4th of July fireworks and all kinds of festivals, and just big, huge, expansive green yard of a park with a huge bike trail around the whole thing. And you can go kayaking. They had a lake that kind of a lake, but it was shaped like a horseshoe all the way around the park, and you can go kayaking in there, and it was just an awesome park. So anyway, I would drive by this place and be like, oh, it's so cute. I want my parents to live there. So when it was time for me to start looking for a place to move, I had a budget, and, I'm on a single mom budget. So the max I wanted to spend was like $900 a month, but I couldn't find anything. Everything was about $1,200, $1,300. I found this one place that, it was a condo that had a garage attached to it. So I was like, well, if it's $1,200 with a garage, I can compromise with that, because that could be my storage for Tiger Lily. So that would save me money on storage, and plus it would be right there in the house. But I didn't like the place, and I saw like remnants of bugs in there, like roaches. The community wasn't horrible, but I didn't like it. It just had a very dark, shadowy, kind of not happy place. But it was something that I could swing. So I tried to get my application in there, but nobody would even answer me. Like, I submitted it myself as I was submitting it for a client, and the broker wouldn't respond. The real estate agent wouldn't respond. Nobody would respond. They wouldn't even tell me if they even ran my report. Nothing. I had no idea. So I'm looking around on Craigslist, and I come across this little blip on the map, and it was hovering right over that cute little community that I wanted to find for my parents. So it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo on the first floor for $900 a month. And it was being rented by a single mom. What? It was her unit. She had to move out. She was moving into a house because one of her sons was coming back. She owned the unit, but she was moving out to rent a house so her oldest son could come back and live with them, and she was renting her place out. So Vincent and I moved in there. I mean, it was like picture perfect. It was almost like, God was like, oh, you asked me, here you go. Oh, it's time to go. Oh, you need furniture? Here you go. Oh, and by the way, I threw in this bedspread that you really liked because I know that you were really wanting to find it. So just to put a little bow on the package, here's this beautiful little bedspread. Just to let you know I love you. So, I mean, this verse is my life verse because I know that he knows the plans that he has for me, and they are plans for good. They're so good, and he's so good, So, okay, I'm going to read it again. I'm rambling, but this is a good one today. Jeremiah 29:11. Well, that was really close, sorry. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Man, did he, because I had, over the last even since 2009, so many times, he has provided for me directly, and he has provided for me through people, like my parents right now. He's providing for me through my parents. Thank God that they are being, I guess, obedient to this promptings, because yeah, I'm their daughter, and Vincent's their grandson, and they love me, but they don't have to do anything. They don't have to do any of this. They don't. And we are very appreciative of it. But I know that God is going to provide tons times more for both of us. I mean, for all of us. This little duo of me and Vincent, and the duo of my mother and my father. So I just am sticking on, hanging on to these promises. I mean, God, I love this one. I'm on fire on this one today. God, I can just, I can feel a little shift. Okay, anyway, I was just momentarily interrupted, and I kind of lost my flow. So, all I know is it was good stuff. So yeah, let me read it again. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Declares. That's like more than just I said so. He's like, I declare it. Right? Plans to prosper you. I like that. I like to be prosperous. Spirit, mind, body, soul, pocketbook, home life, everything. Prosperous. Prosper you and not harm you. Yeah, he does not harm me. Oh my gosh. He protects me like crazy. Plans to give you hope and a future. My future is bright with him. Very bright. He's amazing. If you don't know God, you better get to know him. He will change your life, knock your socks off, and make your life better than you could ever imagine. I love it. So, I will continue doing this. Like I said, this is day 12. So awesome. Fun stuff. A couple times people are watching these, but most of the time not. Last couple ones I haven't put on Facebook, though. I've just put on YouTube. So maybe I'll post them. I go through some emotional weirdness. It's fun, though. I like to look back. I looked back over all of them. It's kind of funny. I'll keep looking back on them. All right. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. Thanks, God. I love you. Thank you for loving me. And thank you for your promises.